Hey everybody, Chris here with another plant side chat. In case you're wondering why I do plant side chats, because I don't have a fire. I have fake plants. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and I'm sorry. We've had a little bit going on around Woodruff Road, so we'll try and get back to these a little more regularly. In fact, I want to use that to introduce the next few videos because there's a list of topics I want to cover in these next little bit here, all under one theme: Christian character, the character of the Christian. I want to start this mini-series off with a question, though. What characteristics do you, the average church attender, expect of your church? You, those who go to church. What do you expect your church to do? What characteristics do you expect your church to have? We all have some theological expectations. For us, Woodruff Road, it's worship, communion on a weekly basis, prayer, scriptural instruction, these big pieces, and announcements, because, no church service without announcements. There are other expectations as well, the small list stuff: hospitality, the facilities being a place that we'd want to go visit, teaching opportunities, that's like classes for all ages, comfort, ease of entry, exit, parking, style of worship, etc. Now, it's that first list that I want us to look at quickly. They call that the big stuff. We, the church, should be meeting those expectations. That's our job. It's what we are supposed to do. If we're not, that's when you say something. That's when we need you to talk to us about those expectations, the big stuff. We need to be meeting that. So let's pose another question now. What if the church had expectations of its members? Now, in certain clubs or areas or parts of your life, that should not be a foreign concept. If you were, per se, a member of the Honor Society or the Lions Club, you have expectations as a member. What if the church had expectations of its members? Yes, that gets pretty uncomfortable when you start thinking about it, doesn't it? So let's play that game. What expectations should you, the member, be required to meet? The first big list stuff, or only the second little list stuff? Too many. Yes, that's a blanket statement. Yes, I'm going to make big statements here, but also it's quite apropos for Woodruff Road's current situation. Too many have high expectations for the church, but keep very few expectations for themselves in return. Let's talk about what expectations the church should have of its members. It looks a lot like this: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control. That should not be a surprise. That should not be a new list. That's the fruit of the Spirit from Paul's letter to the church in Galatia, Galatians chapter 5. What does that look like in reality? Well, let's talk about those theological expectations in the form of church activity. We've talked about attendance. That's what our first two plant side chat videos are about. That looks a lot like faithfulness and self-control, choosing one's scheduled priorities to be a part of a local congregation on a weekly basis. That's a big list item. Yes, the church has every right to expect that of its members. Attendance, be here. We need you in order to operate. If you want faithfulness inside these walls, we want faithfulness inside your own walls as you live your life, as you join us as often as you absolutely can. Generosity. There's another concept that we need to talk about. Giving. There's one that Woodruff Road has to hit on more, because as it stands, we are bleeding when it comes to budget. We are not meant to be a profit organization. I understand that. We are not meant to be an organization that rakes in the cash. If your church says that or acts that way, run. Get out of there. That is not the church. However, let's talk about these expectations. You expect the church to be generous. That's why we get countless calls every week and visits from community members and strangers asking for help with their bills, their food, their gas, etc. We are also expected to support missions. We're expected to be open on Sundays. We're expected to pay the staff, which I like. We are expected to pay the utilities, whether you're in attendance or not, and give to certain emergencies and be benevolent to members and strangers alike when emergencies arise. How do we do that if the members who make up the whole are not meeting the basic needs of the church? We can't. It's that simple. We cut, we don't do this, we don't do that until we are doing nothing. You see, it's a matter of balanced expectations. It's the same with time. The church is expected. You have the expectation of the church to do all the things Can we expect the members to do some of the things? Is the expectation of 1% of your time each week, 1.6 hours, a little over 1.5 hours, is that too much to ask? Turn that around. Do you expect the church to be more than about 2 hours of work or time a week in pursuit of your needs? Of course you do. I say all of this as an introduction to this little mini series and study to challenge you. Be the church you expect the church to be. Be the church you expect the church to be. That is spelled out in Paul's writings, a convenient list of characteristics, the fruit of the Spirit. We must live our faith out loud. That is especially important when we're not at church 1 or 2 days a month. We must be giving to the level we expect of the church. We must be generous in the same measure we expect of the church. We must live the same principles and characteristics we expect of the church. Imagine the good we can do if we all unite under that level of expectation. The big list stuff will be what defines us, not the paltry little stuff that distracts us. I'll see you Sunday.